I feel like I could definitely still see the line of demarcation. Hey guys, what is up? What's good? It's your girl Ashley and welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, what I'm gonna be doing is kind of like a review, first impressions, new at the drugstore video. You guys know I've been on a roll with these videos. So today I'm gonna be doing like new products from Covergirl. Keep in mind, on my eyes, I'm not wearing any Covergirl products. In fact, I am wearing the new Bad Habit Supernova and Solstice palette, which I'm pretty stoked about. This has been sitting in my closet for a little bit now, and I was like, you know what? I don't have any CoverGirl shadows, so let's use these bad boys. So if you guys are interested in this video, if you guys are excited, don't forget to press that subscribe button and also click that little bell so that you guys are notified anytime I upload a new video, which is 2 times a week, every single week. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Hey guys, so the very first thing I'm gonna do in today's video is my brows. Yes, I'm gonna do my brows on camera because I do have 2 new brow products from CoverGirl. The very first one is the Easy Breezy Brow Sculpt and Set Pomade, which looks like this. I did pick mine up in the shade Soft Brown, and then I also picked up the Easy Breezy Brow Micro Fine and Define Pencil. You guys know how I feel about these really slim brow pencils. They're my all-time favorite. So I hope that this is the case with this one. I did pick this one up in Soft Brown. So I'm gonna first start off with the brow pencil. So this is what the brow pencil looks like here. It has a spoolie on one end, and then it has the ultra fine brow pencil on the very opposite end. You guys know I love to go in with the spoolie. Ooh, this is a very sturdy spoolie, by the way. It's not flimsy or anything like that. I like to kind of brush my brows upwards like this, and then as we get to the tail of my brow, I'll just go ahead and sweep it in the direction in which my hair already lays. So that way, when I go in with the brow product, it just lays down a lot nicer. First and foremost, I'm gonna take the brow product and I'm just gonna underline my brow. And when I say underline, I'm just going to take the product and I'm just gonna draw a line directly underneath my eyebrow. So I'm not doing any filling in or anything like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and underline. And as I get to the tail of my brow, I do like to add a little bit more pressure. Now that I have the brow underline, I'm gonna go in with the brow spoolie and I'm just gonna go ahead and lightly diffuse out that line so that way it's not as harsh. I'm also gonna take the brow pencil and I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing, except I'm gonna do it at the top of my brow. I will say right off the bat that the brow pencil does come off to be a little bit waxy. So as you can see, it kind of is just like building up in certain areas, and that's how I can tell it's a little bit too waxy for my taste, but I'm gonna go in with a spoolie and try to go ahead and smooth and even some things out in this area. This is what I'm working with as far as my brows. I just outlined them with the brow product. I am gonna go in with the pomade now just because I'm very curious to see how it works. It does kind of have, I don't know how I feel about this. So this is what the brush looks like. It does kind of remind me of Cabral, but the brush is very long, so I'm not sure how I feel about it. It feels like a little bit flimsy to touch. I will say that you can connect it, so definitely reminds me of Cabral. I am gonna actually try out the brush to see how I like it. I will also say this right here, it's not super duper secure like Cabral, so it's not like in place. I feel like it's gonna kind of like fall off, so we'll see how that plays out. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the pomade and I'm gonna wipe the rest on the back of my hand. So far I think the color is pretty decent. It's not warm, which I really like. I hate super warm brow products. Oop, it already separated. Do you guys see that? I think it's a lot better if you just hold the product right here where it both connects, so that way it doesn't separate while you're using it. It's a little bit uncomfortable to hold that way, but I feel like that's the only way it's going to work out. So I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna fill in my brow. Wow, I really like the color of this. Okay guys, so I am pretty impressed with the brow product. I do like the way it looks on my brows. It's not too warm. It's also not too ashy. However, I don't really like this applicator because it does separate very easily. And I don't really like how flimsy the brush is. Now I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. Y'all, I went ahead and got a new concealer for the new year. This is Light 2.5 Creme Brulee, and the reason I got this one is because I really just want to start using it underneath my eyes to see how that goes. My other one was just like the right color for my skin tone. You guys know I do like a little bit of a brighter under eye concealer, so that's why I decided to pick up this one in Creme Brulee. But I am going to use this brush right here from Shot Miss A, which is just a concealer brush, and I'm going to take some of this and I'm going to use it to underline my eyebrows. Now I know, you guys are probably wondering why I didn't use my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer to prime my eyelids. That's because CoverGirl does have a new eyeshadow primer out. This is called their Lid Lock eyeshadow primer. It says all day crease proof eyeshadow security. Okay, so I'm gonna use this guy to actually prime my eyelids today. And I'm just going to place this on my eyeballs. It does look more like a milky color, which, you know, I could always appreciate. I thought this was gonna be extremely sheer, but I do like that it has some kind of creaminess to it. With the fluffy brush, I'm just going to buff and blend out the shadow primer to ensure that it's nice and blended. So one thing I will say about the lid lockup is that it dries so fast, and then it's extremely tacky to touch at first, but the more you let it dry, it kind of dries down just a tad bit, but it still does have that tackiness. So it makes me feel like my shadows are really just going to like stick to it and not go anywhere, which is great. But like I said, it does dry very, very quickly. So I definitely recommend doing one eye at a time. So blending one eye and then going to the other eye, because it was a little bit difficult to blend this side, I'm not even gonna lie. To set down that eyeshadow primer, I'm gonna pick up a little bit of my Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder, and I'm just gonna brush it on that eyeshadow primer. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I feel like my nude eyeshadow base looks a little patchy. Like right here, do you see it? Y'all probably think I'm bugging out. I'm not, I promise I'm not. So the eyeshadow primer was a fail for me. I don't like the way it made my eyelids feel. They felt very tight and they looked dry. So I'm now gonna start working on my skin because I can't even bear to look at myself any longer. Fun fact, I did go to the dermatologist today. So, you know, they prescribed me with some medication that will hopefully potentially get my acne under control, because it's really, really bad right now. It's just wild. But anyways, CoverGirl did come out with a True Blend pre-touching palette, which looks like this right here. So it has a yellow, a green, and a purple. Yellow is going to even out discoloration. Green is going to cancel out redness, and purple is going to brighten. As you can see, like in the areas where I do have acne, my skin is very, very red. Obviously it's inflamed, it's like a zit, it's acne, and typically it's red. So I'm gonna go in with the green color in the palette, and I am just gonna use a concealer brush. This one right here is from Sedona Lace. It's pretty old. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of that green, and I'm gonna dot it ever so lightly over the areas of my face that are red. Now I do notice that this palette isn't as opaque as some color correcting palettes I've used in the past, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I may even like it better that way, just because I feel like my face isn't gonna be like completely green, if that makes any sense. So I'm just gonna place a little bit right here. Once I have the color corrector placed exactly where I want it, I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and I'm just gonna go inside of that green right there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and buff and blend out the product. And I like to use a fluffy brush because while I wanna blend it out, I don't wanna completely take the product away. So I went ahead and zoomed the camera out a little bit so that way you guys can get a better view of what's going on over here. Now I do notice that the concealer is kind of like clinging on to this area right here. I'm pretty sure you guys can see pretty clear, but I don't think it's necessarily the concealer. I think it's more just the texture on that scar than anything. I'm just applying a little bit more to this area right here and also my chin, but those are all the areas I'm gonna apply the concealer. Honestly, it's okay. It's nothing like super amazing. And that's not to say that this is bad. I've just tried a bunch of color correcting palettes and I kind of sort of feel like they work the same way. I really love the one from L'Oreal that came out, I'm gonna say like last year or maybe even the year before. I'm not quite sure. But you know, this one, it's decent. It's not like out of this world. Whew. You know what I didn't do? I didn't even prime my skin before I started. Shame on me, but it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm probably not gonna go anywhere, so it's all good. The foundation I'm gonna use in today's video is this guy right here. This is the CoverGirl Healthy Elixir Foundation. I'm in the shade 742 Medium Beige. Now, I am well aware that this isn't a brand spanking new foundation. I know it did come out last year, but I decided that I was gonna give her a go in this video since the majority of the products I am using today are from CoverGirl. So this looks like it might be too dark, but I think I can make it work with my concealer. So I'm actually gonna use this Eco Tools sponge to apply the product. First and foremost, I'm just going to dot it onto my skin. This is like hella dark. It has quite the scent to it. Obviously, I'm not gonna lie, the foundation does come off a little bit dark for the skin, but I definitely feel like I can make her work for this video. Probably gonna have to go like a shade down or something. I think it looks insanely gorgeous on the skin though. What do you guys think? Like, look at that. So pretty, so pretty. I'm gonna use this mascara by Covergirl. This is the Peacock Flare mascara. And I'm just gonna do a bunch of coats on my lashes. I'm gonna switch mascaras. This is what the Peacock Flare mascara looks like on its own. I'm gonna go over top with a little bit of the L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara, which is one of my faves. And this is really just going to create so much more volume for my lashes. I'm telling you, you want va boom lashes? Try the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. You will not be disappointed. You will not. Before I go in and set down my entire face, I do want to go in with some highlight. CoverGirl did come out with the Vitalist Healthy Glow highlighters, and I have 3 right here. I have one in the shade Candle Lit. I have another one in the shade Sundown, and then the last one I have is in the shade Moonbeam. Now, Moonbeam is probably gonna be way too light. I think this would look insanely beautiful as like an inner corner highlight, but I think it is just a little bit too bright for an inner corner highlight for today's look. So with that, this is the shade I think I'm gonna use right here. This is in the shade Candle Lit. I am gonna apply it with a brush. So I do think it is more of a natural highlight as opposed to, I feel like what a lot of us are used to, that really intense beaming highlight. It's definitely not like that. So if I say this reminded me of anything, I'll definitely say it reminds me of the Stila Putty highlighter, if that makes sense. The next one I'm going to use is this one right here called Sundown. I'm actually going to use this as an inner corner highlight just because I feel like the eyes are extremely matte. I kind of want to like draw light back into the eyes. So I am going to place this right here in the very inner part of the look. Moving on, I'm gonna go in with powder and I'm gonna set all the areas of my face that I did not apply any highlighter. So I'm gonna powder down my chin. Do you guys see what I was saying? How hard it is to cover up my blemishes? CoverGirl also has some Melting Pout matte lipstick. So I am gonna go in with this one, I think, just because I do wanna go for more of like a grungy look. So this one right here is in the shade Paradise Lost. I'm sure you guys guessed it. I couldn't handle it. I had to pop on false lashes. These are by New Bounce 'em. These are in the style Bella Bay. I'll link them down below in case anybody was interested. I just couldn't handle it. I was like looking in the mirror and I'm like, you look naked. You need lashes. So I popped these on. As for my lip color, I did swap it out from the brown I was wearing earlier. It was just a little bit too brown on brown for me, so I did pop on this pinky nude. This one is in the shade Champagne Showers. Now, if I was to recommend any CoverGirl product, I would definitely recommend these Melting Pout matte liquid lipsticks. They're a little bit more of a whipped formula as opposed to something that's a little bit more fluid, like the ABH liquid lipsticks or the ColourPop liquid lipsticks. I really do like these. They definitely remind me of like the NYX soft matte lip creams. They're not over drying, they're definitely movable. My lips don't feel crusty or anything like that. I really don't get down with liquid lipsticks like that, guys, because I feel like they do tend to dry out my lips. Those are the products I definitely would recommend out of the products I tried in this video. So if you guys check out anything else, be sure to check out the description down below. I'll link all the products I mentioned in this video, and I'll also put a star next to my top picks. So with that, guys, I don't have anything else to say except I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.